like to call a meeting for City Council for June 27th, 2019 at 6 p.m. Please call the roll.
Councilman Coles. Absent. Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Here.
Councilwoman Thomas. Here. Mayor Sherrod.
Pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 23rd, 2019 council meeting and the June 13th, 2000 council work session.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
Public comment on agenda items only. Thank you. I'm going to jump something here because Jerry is going to need to get out. So I'm going to jump to the treasurer's report real quick because of time for you. Is that okay?
No, you can do.
Oh, well, this might be a little long presentation. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll do it then.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure, but I know.
Members of City Council, the tax collector's report of the Treasurer's Office, June 27th, 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, garbage fees and city real estate taxes collected for the month of May. Garbage fees revenues, current, $3,625. Year-to-date, $289,404.75. 2019 budget amount is $370,000. Garbage tax delinquent for May, $5,019.17. Year-to-date, $53,632.87. Budget amount was $203,000. Garbage housing for the county quarterly. We received nothing this month. May year-to-date was $15,258.75. Total budgeted is $67,800. Total income $640,800. Garbage fees collected for 2020. In May, $130. Year-to-date, $410.35. Budget amount, $100,000. City real estate taxes revenues. City real estate taxes current for May, $536,692.23. Year-to-date, $1,842,219.68. Falling under the budget amounts for the taxes for the year 2019. General fund will receive $1,476,638. Debt service funds will receive $500,000. Parks will receive $247,750. Library fund will receive $50,000. Total budgeted is $2,274,388. Delinquent city taxes. City taxes prior year collected by the city, month of May, nothing. Year-to-date, $8,220.60. Budget amount is $1,000. City taxes collected by Westmoreland Tax Payment Bureau quarterly. For the May, no taxes collected. Year-to-date, $24,494.36. 2019 budget amount, $100,000. Total year-to-date taxes collected, $1,874,934.64. City real estate taxes distribution. General fund received $1,217,184.69. Debt service fund received $412,309.16. Parks received $204,085.78. And the library fund received $41,355.01 for a total of $1,874,934.64. That concludes my report for the month. And I need a motion, sir.
I'm asking for a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
Second.
Second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian,
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have two presentations tonight. Not sure, it doesn't matter if you want to go first.
I'll go first.
You both want to hand, so that's okay. The first one, if it's okay, is Mr. Rick Scott
Yes.
and Jason Seltzer. And they are from EHD Business Journal.
Correct.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jason, would you mind passing out these handouts here to the council? Good evening, everyone. I am Rick. I'm with EHD. We are a commercial insurance broker. I'm a commercial property and casualty insurance broker with EHD. I'm also a shareholder of the agency, and we have about 115 employees. We're located throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see everybody.
Yeah.
We're located throughout the state of Pennsylvania, and we specialize in public entities and municipalities. We insure nearly 100 public entity clients throughout the state, and we have some excellent programs, some excellent resources available from a property and casualty standpoint, from an employee benefit standpoint. Jason is an account executive on the benefit side of things with EHD. But I'm going to start us off with the property and casualty stuff. So just to give a little bit of a background, I first met with Judith a couple of months ago to talk about the program, to see if there's some areas we might be able to help you from a coverage, service, and cost standpoint. Over the past few months, we've been spending a lot of time getting to know and understand the current program at the city of Monessen and to figure out some areas where we might be able to help you. I have been told from Judith and many others that cost obviously is the #1 issue, as I expect it to be. And I think what we've been able to do is put together some solutions for you that really help you from a cost standpoint with some significant savings with your property and casualty program. And also from a coverage standpoint, it enhances your coverage and obviously offers you some better service as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started. If you open up your books, this book here, to page, I believe it's 8. It's always page 8. We can get right through, right to the costs associated with our program. And what we're doing is we're offering you a solution for your property, your general liability, your commercial auto coverage, your crime coverage, and also we included an umbrella policy that I don't believe that you currently have right now. So with that, from a total cost standpoint, premium standpoint, with those coverages combined, we're looking at a grand total of about $42,451 in comparison to what you're currently being offered by your incumbent broker of roughly, I think it's about $82,000 or $83,000. So as you can see, this is some significant savings with your current program. Everything is with Selective Insurance. Selective is a premier property and casualty insurance carrier who also specializes in municipalities. For municipal governments, there's only a handful of carriers out there that will do it. Selective is one of them, and they're one of the world leaders in that area. So we have a tremendous amount of business with Selective Insurance, and they really put together an excellent program here for you. So before I move on, does anybody have any questions about the cost page there?
Yeah. Can you break it down, like liability?
Absolutely. Yeah. Your property right now is a premium of $8,399. Okay, we'll go through some more detail about the coverages here in a second. The crime coverage is $1,536. Your equipment floater, which is everything that's not inside a building that moves from location to location, is $738. Your general liability coverage is $8,350. Your automobile coverage is $20,396. And then, as I said, we included an umbrella policy. You don't currently have $1 million worth of coverage that would sit over top of all the other liability coverages, and that premium is $3,032. I also provide you some options too. I insure a lot of municipalities. Our agency insures a lot of municipalities. We deal with a lot of claims, a lot of lawsuits. I know you've probably dealt with some lawsuits through the years as well. I'm a firm believer in umbrella coverage. I think it's really important to have that in order to protect the assets of the city. And, you know, we're offering $1 million of coverage. I also included options in here for $2 million and $3 million at what I think is a very competitive price, and I think it's something you ought to consider as we move through this. So, and those premiums for like the $3 million, like where it says a $3 million umbrella there for $4,765, that's the total premium. It's not an additional $4,765. Okay, so I thought it was important to point that out. Any other questions?
What sort of rating you give Monessen?
I'm sorry?
For insurance companies, they have like a rating scale.
Yeah.
So when they quote you a figure, it's based on some rating. So where are we in Monessen? What rating? High, medium?
I think from an insurability standpoint, the underwriters have proven through their proposal and their premiums that they consider Monessen to be a very well-rated city.
Well, how's that? There's a lot of claims on it.
Well, right now we're focusing the property and the general liability, and there really hasn't been a lot of claims with property and general liability. In the other lines of insurance, there may be some others, but this doesn't cut this. We're not talking about workers' compensation. We're not talking about public officials' liability and things like that. So we're not focusing in that area. Okay. So if you move forward to the other pages, you can see the actual coverage. What Selective is offering you in terms of property is a blanket coverage for your building and all of your personal property, all of your contents, all the stuff that's stored within those buildings that aren't actually fixed to the buildings. That total blanket coverage is $8,489,741. Right now, the total coverage that you have with your current program is about $7.5 million. So they actually, when Selective evaluated the property values, they thought there might have been a little bit underinsured in some areas, so they actually bumped up those values and offered you a higher limit. Okay, so you're getting a higher limit for less premium. This also has an agreed amount endorsement to it. I don't know how familiar you are with co-insurance. I don't want to bore you to death with all my insurance jargon, but co-insurance basically means that you have to have a certain limit in comparison to what your actual replacement cost value is of your buildings. So if you have a 90% co-insurance, which is what you currently have in your program, it basically means that you have to have, your limit has to be at least 90% of the replacement cost value of your buildings at the time of a claim. If it's not, then you get charged a co-insurance penalty when you have a claim. Now, property claims don't happen that often, I understand that, but when they do, they're really, really big normally. And if you have a co-insurance clause in your program, it could be a significant cost to the city of Monessen. So what we've done is we've added an agreed amount. It waives all co-insurance. So with our program, you don't have to be concerned about that. On page 9 and page 10, you can see the breakdown by location for the various different limits that we have in place. Starting on page 12 is your contractor's equipment, or otherwise known as the equipment floater. Basically what that is all of your personal property at the city of, or the business personal property is owned by the city that's not located at one location but kind of floats back and forth. Like the stuff in your police department, the stuff in your fire department, things like that. Those would be considered equipment floater coverage. You have some scheduled equipment that's listed down there at the bottom. You have a John Deere and a boom tractor. The total value of that is $45,422 that you see at the top. We've also included a miscellaneous floater for anything else for $60,000 worth of coverage to cover anything else that might be going in and out of locations. The next page is your crime coverage. So for employee dishonesty or employee theft coverage, we've included $500,000 worth of coverage. Your current program has $100,000. I believe from this standpoint, $500,000 is something that you honestly should have. I think that's a very, I've dealt with enough claims to realize that this can be quite expensive. So we bumped that up to $500,000 worth of coverage. On the next page, page 14, is your general liability coverage. You have $1 million per occurrence, $2 million general aggregate per year. We also included a medical expense if anybody's injured on location at one of your locations, a third party, you have $5,000 to take care of their medical expenses. And all, like I said before, all of this is covered by your $1 million commercial umbrella as well. Moving on to page 16 is your auto coverage. $1 million combined single limit of liability, includes any auto. We also included $277,000 worth of first-party medical benefits. That's if you're involved in an accident. It covers your driver and all the occupants for their medical expenses in the case of a claim. I honestly think that's important coverage as well. And we had $500,000 worth of uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage in case you're hit by somebody who doesn't have any insurance and you need to take care of that vehicle. $500 comp and collision deductibles, which is pretty standard. Page 18 is a list of all the vehicles. One thing to point out, your fire trucks and everything with your fire department is included in this list. This list was provided by you guys, and we just wanted to make sure that you knew that every vehicle that's owned by the city is included. Right now, you have a separate policy in place that covers your fire department vehicles, and then another policy that covers the city's vehicles. We combine that. We combine those two lists, and it's all covered under the same policy. And then, as I said on page 20, is your umbrella. $1 million worth of coverage. Covers your auto liability, so in essence you have $2 million of auto liability. Covers your general liability, so you have $1 million of general liability. And then employer's liability is a component of your workers' compensation program. It's like a third-party lawsuit as a result of a workers' compensation claim. Is covered by your umbrella policy as well. I know this is a lot, and I don't mean to, but does anybody have any questions at all on anything here?
Yeah. Now, why don't they put cell phone tires on, like, they got cell phone tires on the fire department on top of the road.
Okay.
Okay, just like they got here on the water tires. Okay, these cell phone tires, okay, they got it all covered. Now, these things here are going to generate cancer, but the people are so ignorant because they don't know what these cell tires do. And when they add the G5 tires to them, that's 100 times more electromagnetic radiation. So, when people get sick, especially the dummies, they're in the fire department, they're going to have all this radiation.
Ernie, enough. Enough.
What do you mean enough?
You're not going to talk.
I'm talking to him. I'm not talking to you. Don't be cutting me out.
No more questions until the end of his presentation. That's enough.
He asked me to.
Talk again and you're out.
Permission.
Talk again and you're out. You can ask questions after the
I went to
presentation.
the ACLU. You cannot kick me out. That's all I'm going to tell you.
You keep causing a ruckus. Yes,
I'm
I
not
can.
You're the one who broke out the thing.
Excuse me?
You broke out the hostile intention.
public
I was
disturbance.
talking to him.
Hey, acting mayor, can you?
Okay, so would your coverage cover any liability when they get sick 2-3 years down the road?
You have premises liability coverage within this policy that would cover the locations that are owned by the city of Monessen and the
Would it cover
properties owned by the city.
EMR? Would it cover EMR?
It covers property that's owned by the city of Monessen and is under the purview of the city of Monessen. If
Okay,
there's
so
a
there's no
lawsuit,
liability then. So when these people get sick, what happens?
that's not what I said. If there's a lawsuit that's filed against the city of Monessen, then yes, you have liability coverage to cover that, yes. Okay. But I think this issue is more towards, is probably directed towards some other people besides myself, because I'm just offering an insurance program here. I can't really speak to some of those concerns that you have, okay? But in any case, that covers in terms of the coverages, the liability, the auto, the umbrella, everything else. I think that there's some significant savings to the city here. EHD, we insure, as I said, close to 100 municipalities throughout the state. We offer some excellent resources and some excellent services that we can help you out with. The other thing that I want to point out to you, and I sent this in an email to Judith earlier, she can feel free to share it with all the council members, but right now with workers' compensation, you're with the state fund. You had some pretty bad claims activity going back several years ago. We do a lot of business with AmeriHealth. AmeriHealth is one of the only carriers in the state that will insure both the municipal employees as well as the fire department, volunteer fire department, under one policy. I think it would be an excellent solution for you. Unfortunately, this year, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
unfortunately for this year, because that claims activity is still a little too recent, they weren't able to offer you a quote. We did get assurances because insurance carriers and underwriters, they look at like a 4 to 5 year history.
You gotta wait till they stop dropping off.
Yeah, next year, this is going to be beyond that time frame, and they've told us they'd be really interested in taking a look at your program. Now, just so you know, what that basically means is, in their most conservative program, where they would add 25% scheduled debit to your policy, which is the most they're allowed to add in the state of Pennsylvania, it would be between a $60,000 and $65,000 savings versus what you're paying right now. So I think it's incumbent upon you guys to really, really, pay attention to those things over the next 12 months, obviously. We at EHD, we have a lot of resources available from a claims advocacy standpoint, from a safety and loss control standpoint. We have folks that work with EHD specifically to advocate for workers' compensation claims. We would love to work with you on that aspect of the program, but we don't have a quote for you today, but we would love to take over the state fund program with you and advocate for you. I included a cost for that. It's on page 8 at the very bottom. You can see the workers' compensation program service fee. In order for us to be a part of that and to work with you on that and to make sure that those claims are mitigated properly, make sure that we're providing internal risk control and safety resources, that would be the cost to the city of Monessen. I think overall it's still a significant savings versus what you're paying right now in your property and casualty program. And based on the fact that in 12 months it could be significant savings for you, even more, much more than that, we would love to help you in that capacity as well.
Rick, can you state one more time, and I know I got it, but just in case somebody might have come in late, what exactly is the potential savings to the city, what we're paying now versus possibly moving forward with you guys?
Okay, so for right now, for the property and liability insurance, property, general liability, auto, umbrella coverages, don't have an umbrella right now. Right now, I think it's around $83,000 is your expense for those coverages. We're offering you a solution that's $42,000. So you're looking at a savings of $41,000 for the city of Monessen, just in that area.
With better coverage.
For that coverage, which honestly, better coverage because we're adding the umbrella, we're adding blanket coverage for your property, we're adding a lot of different kind of benefits to our coverage that you don't currently have.
I think a couple of the deductibles went down too under your quote compared to what we have now.
Yeah, I believe the property deductible is $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to speak out of turn. Yeah, the property I can't tell you right now what your deductible is, but I can tell you $1,000 for property is very low. And for your auto, it's $500 comp and collision deductible, which is pretty standard. Yeah.
I think it's 1,000 now. I'd have to double check.
So, that's, and once again, the workers' compensation savings is out there. We just want to work with you guys. We really do. I mean, I want to be able to handle all of your lines of insurance. Unfortunately, I can't do the state right now. But I'm good, the cost would be $10,000 to make sure we can help you with the workers' compensation coverage as well. Sorry, I stumbled there a little bit, but I think that's really important because you want to make sure right now, if you can just go through one more year, there's some significant savings out there with the workers' compensation program as well. I've included under the second tab a customized service plan that would be included with that $10,000 charge, and you can see all the different resources and programs and options that we can do. Most importantly, we want to sit down with you on a quarterly basis, go through all of your claims. When we do something called the pre-unit report consultation, where we're going to come out and sit down with you about all your reserves on your current open claims for workers' comp, to talk about those claims before those losses get reported to the state for your experience modification factor. I'm probably fairly certain you guys understand what your experience modification factor is. That's the factor that the state uses that really drives your insurance premium. It's based on losses, both paid losses and reserve losses for workers' comp, and we want to sit down with you once a year to kind of go through those and see if there's anywhere we can get those reserves dropped down before they get reported to the state. It can have a huge impact on your premiums. Risk control, you have a safety committee. We have an internal safety and risk control consultant who can work with you with your safety committee, do building inspections, come out and do training with your supervisors, do defensive driver training, whatever it takes to help you from a loss perspective. And that's all included in that $10,000 service fee. And that's obviously optional, but I think it's important right now to really pay attention to that stuff.
Gee, I don't know if they have competition, but Dawn, they have marked in here grave markers and headstones, so I'm not quite sure what that was. So, what's that?
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure either, that's why I put you. Is there a time frame, if council, that goes with it, that there's a waiting period, there isn't a waiting period?
No, I mean, once you guys make the decision to move forward, this is a bindable quote, so we can move forward immediately. And then over the next couple of weeks, I can work with Judith just to make sure that, everything's in place. But I feel like we've done a lot of due diligence already. We've gone through all of your current policies. I spent some time, she's been very generous with her time filling out all my insane insurance applications and things like that. So I think that we got everything covered, but we'll make sure before the policy is actually issued. But we can bind it immediately so coverage would be in place effective 7.
And what is your frequency as far as reports, quarterly, monthly, weekly, yearly?
Honestly, that's all dependent upon you guys. I think at the very least it would make sense to do quarterly. I think it's really important, particularly from a workers' comp standpoint, that we kind of sit down and talk about what's going on a quarterly basis. We'll participate with your safety committee, so I know that conversation is going to be ongoing, but with this group, I think it's really important to have those conversations as well, just to make sure we're staying on top of it, particularly given the opportunity for savings in 12 months from now.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for him?
Thank you.
We now have another speaker, Scott?
Jason.
Oh.
I'm Rick Scott. Got with your name.
No, we got.
No, there's another Scott.
Oh,
Yeah, let me grab your.
sure. Joe, please go right
Yeah,
ahead.
let me do this.
All right, my name is Scott Getz.
That's what you got to choose.
Sorry about that.
I'm the owner and chief instructor of Full Circle Karate in Monongahela, and I'm here for renting space at the Civic Center. We've been in business for 23 years in Monongahela, and when we first started off, we started off just as a regular karate program, and over the years we've expanded. We do women's self-defense there. We do specialty seminars for people. We are now a base for handgun and pistol training for the area. And also I work with law enforcement very selectively, but work with law enforcement, helping them with pretty much anything they need when it comes to self-defense and things like that. But with expansion, we have a number of assistant instructors, and one of them approached me about 3 months ago saying that, you know what, he would like to run his own program. He'd like to start a school, and I believe very much in supporting people, helping them out with their vision, and so we started looking, asking questions, putting the word out. Chief Smith saw my post about looking for space. He pointed me toward Ed Egley, and next thing you know, Ed and I are doing a meet and greet. We went to the Civic Center, and I saw the options that he was offering, and it was like, this is perfect. Right? So we have a good opportunity here to bring in a karate program, start off small and humble, but our goal is to have a good base of operations. Right? There's Civic Center, as Ed said, is underutilized, and we're hoping that to really be plant some seeds here, be really good for the kids, increase our view with the karate program is come alongside the parents. certain things for the kids. They want to teach the kids things like determination, perseverance, honor, respect, self-control, discipline. We want to provide that vehicle. We know that a lot of times, especially with, say, single mothers, that they're struggling, and we want to come alongside them and be a resource and help them do the things that they're trying to do for their kids. So, and as I understand it, I wanted to come tonight, see if anybody had any questions, and if, as I understand it, y'all are supposed to vote on that. I do have ready to sign the lease. I also have a check for first 2 months' rent, ready to go. So, anybody have any questions? Okay.
You gonna be doing any maintenance as well?
Nope.
No
No,
ma-
no maintenance. Cleaning. So maybe some painting, some touch up, but just make the place look attractive.
You gonna have any security cameras in there, or?
No, not in the room.
There already are security cameras on the facility.
So. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, as for the lease, is that something that I can present to the council right now, sign, check, or is that something that maybe Joe and I can talk about later?
We'll talk later.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. Most of you have this information, so I didn't print new copies, but I did have a couple of printouts for those that didn't have them from prior meetings. Not sure, did you guys get these from last time? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the same, it's the exact same stuff that we talked about previously. And Rick did a great job, far better job than I could do of talking about EHT and all the resources that we have to bring. So I'm not going to go through that again, but I did want to touch base on some of the work that I've been working with Judith on regarding the employee benefits package that is offered by the city currently. And in short, we've identified some concerns that the board and that the city have in particular regarding how the current plans are administered, the current costs of the plans, and the direction that you're getting or the advice that you're getting from your current firm that you're working with. And through the last couple of months, what we have worked on is somewhat unbundling some of the packages and the services that you've been getting from your current firm, notably the billing. The reason that we did that was because there was a question as to whether or not your existing brokerage firm was going to be able to continue to administer the billing on your behalf, specifically in regards to the UPMC policies. So by working together, we were able to negotiate both with UPMC and with Highmark on the individual contracts as well as the Medicare contracts that they would agree to do their own version of consolidated billing. So they will accept one check with one bill each month for all of those contracts, and that way you don't have to worry about getting the consolidated billing from a third party. So we now have, well, you were getting one bill, the likelihood is you will be getting two, now we have three, but you're doing it directly with the insurance companies. And we've kind of solved or smoothed over the potential for some disruption regarding the billing. And again, that was done at no change to the policies and no change to the cost and no change to the coverage, no change to anything. The other thing that's important to note is because of the way that your group is currently set up, we cannot make any changes at this time to any of the underlying contracts or policies. They are written on an annual basis, so the UPMC contracts are annual, the Medicare contracts are obviously annual, and the health plan, while it could conceivably be renewed mid-policy year, we don't usually recommend that, and we would not recommend changing that at this time either. Really, our largest recommendation at this point would be to change the administration of the debit cards that you are currently providing to all of the members. The reason that we are recommending that is because we work with a nationally recognized, accredited, and licensed third-party administrator named Benecon. What Benecon can do that you are not currently getting is they have the ability to not only process the claims and process the claims in accordance with the regulatory rulings that govern those claims. So the firm that you're working with right now is not an accredited third-party administrator. As such, they do not, one, take liability for the funds that you give to them while they are in their custody. And two is they do not hold any liability if they make any mistakes on your behalf. So there is a liability that is created by allowing them to administer that for you. The second concern that we have and that we've discussed is that there is a almost complete lack of transparency regarding the data surrounding what claims are being paid. So the money is going into these accounts, the cards are being used, and there is no reporting coming back to the city as to what that money is being used for, how much of that money is being spent, and it is preventing the city and us, should we be fortunate enough to work with you, to properly identify if you are in the appropriate products and the appropriate funding mechanisms for those products. And a lot of assumptions were made when these plans were put into place that the economics of these plans would work out to your benefit. Without having the data, we don't know that. And so by working through us and through Benecon, we would have access, and what's on the back page, the back 2 pages actually, of the prior presentation we put together in this one as well, is visual representations of the online dashboards that you would have access to, the reports that you would have access to as often as you would like, as well as the mobile and internet-based apps that the employees would have access to if they wanted to file their claims outside of using the debit card. The debit card would not be an issue. Benecon issues debit cards all the time, so they have the ability to do that. And the amount of transparency that Benecon can bring to the table is light years ahead of what you're getting currently. The other advantage of working through Benecon is that they, not only being a licensed, accredited professional third-party administrator, they are also significantly cheaper than what you are currently paying in terms of your fees right now. According to what we've talked about with Judith, you're currently paying roughly about $9,600 a year for the administrative processes. That includes COBRA administration, the debit cards, the HRA funding mechanism, and that consolidated billing, which we talked about earlier, that we kind of solved that problem. The Benecon solution, and for those of you that are looking at the calculations, our last meeting we uncovered a little bit more, so the savings is not quite as great, but it's still roughly about $6,500 a year over what you're currently paying. And again, you're getting professional level third-party administration as opposed to a company that just happens to administer benefits on the side. Our feeling is that at renewal time, we would be interested as part of a discussion with council as well as the management of reviewing your entire benefits package, reviewing the collectively bargained benefits that you have, making sure that the products are in line with everything that they're supposed to be in line with, and making sure that we're on a course going forward to make sure that we're appropriately evaluating the risk that you're taking on and the price that you're paying for that risk. Could there be more appropriate products out there that will accomplish the same quality of coverage at a more cost-effective price for the city? We don't know, but those are things that we would like to experience. We also, through Benecon, have access to municipal trusts that are somewhat proprietary, so they actually offer products that are designed exclusively for municipalities and city governments. And we would like to explore that option with Benecon as well, to say, because of the somewhat unique nature of your program, you can't have the one-size-fits-all approach that private industry can have, where everybody just gets one plan with one carrier. Well, through Benecon, we might be able to streamline that a little bit more because of their familiarity with municipal entities. So that's something that we would like to explore in the future. However, as of right now, today, we are not proposing making any changes to the plans. We're not proposing making any changes to the products. We're not proposing making any changes to the contributions or anything like that. All we're proposing is, by allowing EHD and Benecon to administer your COBRA and to administer the debit cards on your behalf, we will create the transparency needed to appropriately evaluate the risk moving forward at a savings to the city. and it will position the city going forward to be in a more informed position to make appropriate decisions about the products at renewal time. So again, we're not proposing any changes other than the administration, and we're approximating a savings of about $6,500 on that.
Now, during the change of the administration, will there be any impact to the employees?
No, so what I've done is I have spoken both with Benecon and your insurance carriers. We cannot, insurance carriers will not change the broker of record on individual contracts mid-year. There is no, because the products are sold one time and they are individual contracts, there's no real ongoing servicing that needs to occur, so they will not allow us to assume responsibility for those contracts mid-year. What United Healthcare has agreed to is to avoid any disruption with the existing debit card systems. They will allow us to notify them the last day of the month before the change so as not to disrupt the debit cards. That will allow us to go to Benecon about 3 weeks in advance of the changeover to get the systems up and running so that everything is tested and working, so that we can literally switch over the next day with absolutely no disruption to the employees, and the cards will work seamlessly. Any other questions? Sorry, not as exciting as Rick's, but
I think at the end of the day, guys, I mean, EHD, you know, we handle about $350 million in premium. We insure close to 100 municipalities. We have great programs from a benefit standpoint, from a property casualty standpoint. We have preferred status with every major regional, local insurance carrier out there. And we have some great internal resources and expertise. And at the end of the day, we want to be your insurance broker. So
there is one other thing I will mention that we would be able to add immediately at no cost to the city. EHD has something we call member care services, and that was also included in the presentation, both copies. Member care services is a patient advocacy program. So if one of the members on any of the contracts, whether it's the United, the UPMC, or the Highmark contract, was to be at a provider and have an issue either with billing, with the insurance filing, with any issues whatsoever, we would give every employee a wallet card with a dedicated number, with a dedicated code, unique to the employees of the city of Monessen, so that when they would call in, they would enter their code, it would go right to our member care team, and all of the members' information would populate on our servers, and we'd be able to go in and say, oh, I know exactly what plan you have, I know exactly who's in network, who's not in network, et cetera, et cetera. Tell me what problem you're having. I have access to everything I need to help you solve that problem. And that's something that we provide to all of our employee benefits clients at no charge. And while it gives you peace of mind, it's really a time saver for internal staff who may be getting involved with those types of problems as it is. It removes you from that equation. And needless to say, patient advocacy is very important, and it's something that we do a lot of on our own, but we now have, and we have had through EHD, a system in place to systematize this and provide it very efficiently, and again, at no cost. So again, that's also part of what would become available at the change.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you again for the time. We appreciate it.
thank you, guys.
Okay. Police report for the month of May 2019. There was $1,679.26 for parking meter receipts. Parking fines was $894. Parking permits was $1,825. Miscellaneous was $180. Total receipts from District Justice Office was $2,349.01. And the total receipts collected for May 2019 was $6,927.27. I make a motion to approve the agreement with Morgan Excavating for the 2019 CDBG roadway rehabilitation project, Phase 1, MON 2019-1, in the amount of $91,991.48 to be paid out of the CDBG funds, according to the recommendation of WC Inc.
Second.
Second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn?
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas? Yes.
A motion to approve change order number 2, a no-cost change order for the 2018 downtown demolition and site clearance project to replace the specifications for remediation with topsoil and Pennsylvania grass mix to instead provide, install, and compact limestone over the entire parcel of 550 Donner Avenue and 535 Donner Avenue, according to the recommendation of WCE. Second?
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
A motion to approve a refund to Richard White of 653 McKean Avenue, Monessen, PA, from the Fire Escrow Fund in the amount of $10,000 as all requirements for demolition of the damaged structure and remediation of the property located at 723 9th Street have been completed and approved by the City of Monessen Code Enforcement Officer.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve renewal of the workman's compensation insurance coverage from State Workers Insurance Fund effective July 1st, 2019, with an estimated amount of $165,462.
Second.
No questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve the quote from Engel, Hambright, and Davies, Inc., EH&S, for liability and property insurance coverage effective July 1st, 2019, for a yearly premium of $42,451.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve the quote from Engel, Hambright, and Davies, Inc., EHD, for optional workers' compensation program services for the yearly fee of $10,000. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve the cancellation of the July 11th, 2019 council work session due to absence or vacation. Mr. Maiden.
Yeah, I'm going into the woods with no cell phone service. He's not getting hold of me.
You want to second that then?
No, she can't.
I'm not seconding it.
Questions on the motion?
Mr. Finn seconded that, did he? Okay.
We have questions on the motion, like why are you going?
To get away from you.
Thank you.
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Aye.
Councilwoman Thomas. No, yay.
Wait, did you say nay? I would
No, I
change my
said
vote.
yes.
And we would like to
Right,
say,
right.
council and the city is looking for individuals that would like to be appointed and be part of the Monessen Planning Commission. I don't think there is anybody that knows it.
We advertised for members of interest, and I had 2 people, but they haven't actually submitted the letter. You know, they've been interested, so until I get the letters.
Anybody else wants to give?
Right, sure.
Okay, I have the library board financial report if anybody's interested. Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes. Hello, everyone. There is available to you a street and a parks department report for the May 2019, if you want to view that. We have a motion to approve the emergency repair of the stormwater inlet at 403rd Street by Mornet Excavation, Inc. for an approximate cost of $4,500.
Second.
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes. We also have a motion to approve a request from Joseph Lombardo for a handicap parking space and sign at 425 4th Street, subject to review and approval of the police and code of departments.
Second.
Second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Fian?
Hi, everybody. I have the code office financials for the month of May 2019. We brought in just over $9,000 in May for a total thus far for the year of $82,120.49. I have a code office report if anybody wants to see it. Fire report. Month of May, the city's firefighters devoted a total of about 217 man-hours. As always, thank you guys, appreciate it. Especially you, Don.
You're welcome,
Thanks, buddy. I got the civic Center Rec Board report, if anybody wants to see it, and the EMS report for the month was 154 total incidents, 142 emergency calls, 6 fire standby calls, and 6 public service calls. Can I have a motion to approve the lease agreement with Full Circle Karate for a portion of the first floor office space in the Monessen Civic Center for an initial term of 6 months with the rent of $200 per month, with automatic 6-month renewal and increases of $50 per month specific to increased enrollment, to a maximum of $300 per month.
Second.
Second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman King.
You're welcome.
Solicitor?
One item, I've been talking with People's Natural Gas about the gas line that was struck out here a few months ago when that building was being demolished. They think they have what happened, something with their accounts and the city's address just didn't jive together. Also, they're going to have a plan going forward with other demolitions. Once the city identifies a commercial structure that's going to be demolished, they're going to contact People's Natural Gas to make sure the account information and the building address that the city has matches up, and that way the PA1 calls can be appropriate, and hopefully we can avoid that situation again. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mike?
Following is the community bank reconciliation as of 5/31/19. The beginning balance was $775,784.46. Receipts totaled $921,760.07. Disbursements, $742,572.20, leaving a final amount reconciled to the balance sheet at 5/31/19, $954,972.33. That's my report.
Thanks. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve payment of bills for expenditures from the General Fund, Parks Fund, Recreational Board, Line Usage Fund, pending review by the Director of Accounts and Finance and the City Controller.
Second.
For the second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Motion to approve electronic transfers from the General Fund to the Payroll Fund for payroll for May 2019 in the amount of $148,254.93.
Second.
For the second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
We have a motion to approve electronic transfers from the General Fund to the Healthcare account for healthcare expenditures for the month of May 2019 in the amount of $60,750.
Second.
For the second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
I have construction on baseball and GM on that now. I'll correct that. Thank you.
This one should be June.
Yeah, they should all be GM, yes. Well, no, not that one.
This last one?
No, that one is May. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be June. So sorry. I'll fix that.
Motion to approve payment of Monessen Public Library Fund contribution for May 2019 in the amount of $11,798.61.
Second.
For the second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yep.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have public comment on non-agenda items, if anybody'd like to speak.
Ernest Telegraph, 29 West Boulevard. How many other brokers or companies you reached out so they could provide you with your insurance umbrella plan?
The umbrella?
What these gentlemen
Okay.
were talking about, how
Property
many
liability.
others did you approach?
Our current carrier
Yeah,
for the liability and property. And now I don't know how many he went to because it was his
no,
job
I
to
mean,
renew. Okay.
how many others besides these two gentlemen did you contact to see, so you could compare apples and apples?
Okay, for the general liability, just our current broker and EHD.
Okay, so
For the employee, We talked to RFP and DHD.
Okay, so all we're
Oh,
doing
no,
is,
and one more, I'm sorry, one more.
who's the other one?
Hub, I think it's called, Hub International.
Okay, so is this council gonna make a decision based on present and then one newcomer? You're not gonna go out and get another bid or,
It's a professional service.
so what? I get professional
Judy did her-
services calling on me all the time.
Judy did her due diligence, but
Due diligence, what, with just one, other party to come in?
Brokers have a number of insurance companies that they can deal with.
Every
He has
broker is
how many
different.
he has, RFP has how many they have, usually 3 or 4.
See, it's easy
He
to,
offered me the best he had.
well, that's one person. I'm
No,
asking.
2,
you-
both of them.
Well, no, you got the current and then these people. And are you gonna go out and get another opinion, or you're not? You're just gonna
Not at
spend,
this time.
not this time. Now,
I
no,
just
I
say
thought saving $40,000
$40,000.
is pretty darn good.
well, we don't know what the other people are gonna, present.
you just sat up there, hold on, you just sat up there and questioned the guy about the city's insurance rating because we have so many claims. Yet she was able to go out, do her due diligence and say, well, $40,000.
Listen, it's common sense to go more than one person to compare, okay? That's all I'm saying. You don't do that with your household. You don't just talk to one person and compare it to what you have presently.
Actually, I do, but.
But, you know, cities are a little bit different. Municipalities are a little bit different than private individuals.
well,
There aren't as many
Since the time I
brokers
talked to
who are,
you,
you know,
since the time I
insured.
talked to you, there's a half a dozen in Westmoreland County alone. And you're telling me they're hard to find.
No, I'm saying that this was a very good package.
Well,
Ernie, I thought you'd be happy, 40K in savings just on the one side,
well,
plus
we don't
better
know.
benefits.
That's what he said. We don't
That's
know
what
what
he
you're gonna have.
quoted us at. That's his
That's a-
quote.
Okay, then, well, he had no ceiling on it. He says he still has to
No,
look that
the
out.
city's paying him $40,000 less than what they're paying
Our current.
currently.
What they
Are you
say.
gonna complain about 40K being saved? You come up here and complain about money all the time. We're saving money now, and now,
Not good enough for you.
No, no, I
So
didn't
they're
say that. I just said that you're gonna ask someone else to come in. We're just gonna ask one person to come in and that's it. Okay, now number 2.
There is a, I don't know if I can speak now or not.
Sure.
Not here or anything like that, but there is a marketing summary that outlines all the carriers that we did go to quote the insurance. So just to point that out, we did go to multiple carriers and got multiple quotes, and nobody could compete with Selective Program.
That's what a broker does. You represent several different companies.
That's
You
correct.
take the best of those. So it's not just one company that
Multiple
we're
companies.
inquiring about. It's several within that. So,
Yeah.
Ernie, there are
Yeah, but
several.
when you talk to another broker, he has another set of companies that he deals with. So what I'm trying to say is you don't put everything under one carpet and say.
But they didn't. They went to
She said there
several.
was another one.
yeah,
She did say there
Yeah,
was another one.
well,
That he
what-
might have different ones. He
Right.
might overlap.
Right.
There are
But the
only so
problem-
many companies
the
that
I
are.
problem-
asked if he's gonna entertain another group.
No, they
No.
voted on it tonight, I think.
See, they just voted on tonight. So they just talk and then they just take one party and then we live with it.
Ernie, we just said there was more than one party, okay? And we're saving 40K. So I don't see what your problem is. All you do is come up here every meeting. No, I'm talking now. I sit here, I talk,
I wanna finish.
okay? No,
I wanna
wait.
finish what I'm
You
talking.
wait until I
You keep
talk.
interrupting me. You
Guess
don't
what?
interrupt the other people.
Oh, I interrupt
Okay,
everybody.
You keep interrupting. And I don't know why you're barking because in 7 months you're gonna be out anyway.
It doesn't matter. You think he's gonna put up with you?
I'm not gonna be hounding him because he ain't gonna get up like you do and put down people.
You obviously don't know Mr. Gregory.
That's not his style.
Oh, boy.
Ernie, can we just go on another topic?
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll take
Stop
your,
asking the same questions week after.
But he keeps interrupting.
they'll take your
Okay,
recommendation
now,
for next.
okay, that's the other thing is, if you're gonna be voting on it now, what happens when the new group comes in and they decide on something else
They can't change
You
it
can't
until
change
the
it until
contract.
next July.
until next July?
So if we didn't vote on this, because we went through this last summer, I don't know if you were at that period of meetings where the city almost couldn't get insurance.
No, he stopped coming to those meetings.
Yeah, so we had to have
I was out
liability
of
insurance.
town last summer, I went to Europe twice, okay? So you don't know what I do, it'll be.
I said you weren't here. You weren't here.
You weren't here.
You just admitted you weren't here.
Yeah, I was out of town.
Okay. I didn't say anything about
No,
where
you
you
said I
went.
stopped coming.
Next time,
because
come on,
the
keep it
summer.
coming.
Okay, so number 3 here. You people are getting money now because of the property taxes, they're coming in. So they're coming in, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna blow it all before September?
Yes,
Yeah.
next time. That's the plan, yeah, we're spending all the money.
It seems like if you're giving 91,000 here.
That was from
10,000
CDBG for the
That's
paving the
Totally
roads, but
different
come on,
That's
keep
not
going.
general fund.
You want to ask any more weird questions?
You guys got your mind set up. And, you
Don't
know,
stop paving
if
roads.
there's not enough people that come, okay?
Then
when
round more
enough-
people up and get them to come.
No, there's not enough citizens who pay taxes, they don't come because they're fed up, okay? If people are moving out, so I know.
Hard to follow. I'm Nancy Horvath, 1417 Arlington. I just have a simple little question about the full circle karate.
Yes.
Are they going to utilize the prior gym that was on that bottom floor, or are they going to occupy the gymnasium area?
No, there's a vacant, it's an office space.
It's like a
That's all
conference room
that's-
size, yeah.
Well, where are they going to conduct the instructions?
In that, it's about 18 by 20 feet, so it's fairly large.
It's on the main floor?
I didn't.
In the back.
It's in the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a
In the
big
back to
conference
the
room.
right.
Okay, I know where you are now. Okay, I'm just curious, because do we still have that, does the Lotus still have that gymnasium?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What's up, man?
Hey, Brett LaPresti, 28 Montraver, my property on 6th Street. Did we ever find anything out about that wall?
The wall, that property's still owned by the individuals. I couldn't find anything that the bank owned it, so.
A bank in Florida owns it. That's what Mr. Charvelli found out for me.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the property cards and I couldn't find any mortgage foreclosure action or anything. So it's still in the name of the individual owners.
Well, they're dead.
I know, that's,
So what can we do?
our options are extremely limited at this point. I mean, the city can't fix it, the city can't go and charge somebody to fix it. I couldn't find any heirs to that property at all. So it's gonna remain vacant unfortunately until it goes to tax sale cycle.
So are the taxes being paid on it? That's good.
It's a delinquent tax anywhere.
All right. In the meanwhile, when that wall falls and does some damage, who do I go after?
Their new
Because my
insurance secretary.
insurance company already told me they're not gonna take care of it, State Farm.
I mean, we're still looking at some other options. Hopefully we find somebody who by law that property transfers to. That's normally how it works, but.
If we were to go on and try and fix it, then Ernie can press charges against us for trespassing on somebody else.
Well, I know they can't press charges because there's no one to press charges against us, but the one daughter lives out of state, I believe, in Kansas. Kelly's the only one living. So, that's right next door to Lois.
We're still looking to see.
Don't worry, she's beating me up.
Yeah.
I don't see no black eyes in them, so.
She like bear hugged me last meeting, she was gonna beat me up. What's going on, Don?
Oh, not much, Dave. How about you?
Good.
That's for Don Greger, 1428 Graham Avenue. Question. The third company, did they ever give you any numbers to this? The insurance?
You mean for the insurance,
Yes.
for the interest, or the
Yes.
health benefits? No, we would have to talk a little bit further. That's out the road, like you said, it's not until, our renewal's not until the end of the year.
Yeah, but
So-
for what they're doing for us now, they never gave you any other numbers, didn't have got any other numbers from
So we
anyone
talking
else?
about property and liability?
Yes.
Okay, just property, yes, I got something from RFP, and that's where it was $70,737 for the
But
renewal.
the third company you were talking about never got back to you?
No, they didn't do liability, that was strictly health insurance.
Strictly health
So I didn't talk to another liability carrier. I did not, no, just the two, this one and,
I was just curious.
By law for professional services, you're not required to have the 3 bids like everybody
Oh,
else.
I'm aware, I was just trying to get some clarification.
No, I was kind of directing that at somebody else who keeps talking while you're talking.
Wish you wouldn't do that while I'm talking.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That's okay then. Lois, did you ever get those numbers from the sewage authority?
What I did get was just information on the EQ tank. I have 2 copies, and I think one was for you,
For me.
right? Because remember you asked for
Yeah.
one, so I do have 2 copies.
Does it say $5 goes to the retaining?
No,
tank?
that is not a letter. It's just all about the EQ tank, all the cost of what their plans were for 3 different amounts for the EQ tank.
You didn't get the letter from
That's not, I just got this. All I got was these 2 packets from them, and it's all related to the EQ tank. That's it. That's all that came
amazing.
this week, yeah.
It's amazing, the letter disappeared.
Yep.
It happens, Ernie. It happens.
Yeah, on their watch.
It happens on everybody.
You should go ask the sewage
unfortunately.
authority where it went.
Anyhow, did we ever find out what we actually received from the sewage authority for the last 2 years? I know there was some question on the amounts.
Judy has totals.
Bring that out.
Do we have any totals
Yeah.
for 2018 and 2017?
I don't know if she has it in front of her, but she does have the totals.
She has
I
it.
think it's- Yeah, sure.
I call you tomorrow, can you give them to me?
Yes, that would be fine. You went for
You're not-
2018 and 2019, right?
2017, 18, and 19 if possible.
Here's what that report does show. It doesn't show how many out of 3,500 households and buildings paid. It just shows how much money came.
That's
to-
all, I just want the totals, Joe. I understand that,
Yeah.
you know, you're not gonna give me a breakdown of who paid what, and
The
what
city
households
doesn't-
did what.
The city doesn't even get that information for whatever reason.
That goes to the sewage,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Just wanted some information.
Thanks, Tom.
Have a good evening.
You too, buddy.
Anyone else?
There is, I don't even know, I don't think it pertains to council.
However, I had conversation with the sewage, or the water company. I refilled my pool, and I'm being billed for the water and also for the sewage. That's not, that water's not even going to go through sewage.
Yeah, they're supposed
For
to not
10
charge you,
years.
when you call them for a pool fill-up, they're not supposed to charge you sewage for that amount.
But they
changed
are.
that.
That's-
I think they changed that, they are charging.
They
you.
are.
Oh, really?
Call the sewage authority.
And it's, I just, for your information, because
There
they
goes
told
my
me
plan
it's
to
gonna
get
cost
full.
me close to $300 or more for sewage that's not being utilized for the water that will be in there for at least 10 years. Just,
I've actually seen other municipalities and townships,
They
the sewage
some-
authority, they charge by
I didn't know.
cubic, just by gallons.
but there is an area, she didn't tell me where it was locally, that had been somehow grandfathered in, and they were giving them a meter to use for the water and thus not being billed for sewage. But,
They usually have you read the meter before and after.
well, not here. Not here.
I mean, I know there's a firm, when I lived up in Natrona Heights, there was a firm in Cabot, Sarver, and it's called Fox. And they had the big water tankers, and they specifically did that for a job. I mean, they actually brought clean, pure water for pools.
I had that done. I had one load, and that alone was $350.
Well, it's either you pay the sewage,
But at
the water,
least I
or
don't
you
have to
pay
pay
somebody to fill it.
To
That's usually-
finish filling it, I had to use my own water, of course, if I
We
couldn't
can go and
show off that. I think it's wrong that they charge sewage, that's all.
Maybe I can call them and find out how their program works.
Oh, you gotta go?
If
I'll call you.
something, You know, maybe for the next time.
I don't know, right, it's just so wrong, it's so wrong. That's all.
Last time I was at a meeting here, we said something about some redevelopment authority, the members and stuff. How do you get on it?
They're appointed whenever terms are up, and usually they're 3 or 5 year terms. They usually come up at the end of the year. In other words, we would ask for, like I did tonight about the planning commission, council would, there'll be an advertisement. And we usually say it at a meeting that they're looking for people like that. You put your name in.
You just send Judy an email with a letter of intent.
Yeah, that's about it.
Were you talking about that, or were you talking like the
And,
comprehensive
I mean, you
plan?
mentioned something at the meeting a month ago about getting on, people can get on the committee.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like-
we do have a bunch
Not
of
necessarily
committees.
redevelopment.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
If you want, Judy can tell you exactly who you
They're
have.
opening.
Planning commission's definitely encouraging for people.
Yes.
And we need
And
that.
that's going to be more important as the comprehensive plan moves forward for the city.
What are the duties?
There'd be planning meetings, if somebody's filing a subdivision or something like that, or changing use for a building that requires extensive development. You sit as a public body and make those decisions,
Separate.
separate from council.
And I can get them tomorrow, off of her.
Yeah, she'll give you the
Sure,
list.
should be happy.
She's gonna come and get the list.
Okay.
You have that spreadsheet, so.
Yes, sure.
Anyone else?
I got a question.
Nope.
You said something in the minutes you approved of changing the work order where you were gonna put grass,
Yes.
and then now what you're putting down is
Gravel.
gravel. Why?
Grass won't grow.
Grass. The cheapest form of ground cover is grass. And if you think about it, you're gonna go down to you're gonna see a white lot. You know, like basically a parking lot. I just figured you put grass there, yeah, you gotta cut it, at least it looks a lot nicer than gravel.
They're between, they're very
It's
shaded.
the one
They're really.
It's the ones
Across
right over
the
there.
street, I
I
think.
thought the
But
real
that-
big one.
no,
No,
It's
the
not
real
that
big one.
over there.
No,
No,
it's-
it's
It's
not
the
the
narrow
big
one.
one.
It's the real narrow
Yeah,
one
it's
right over
the-
there.
Okay, well,
in
yeah, no
between the
grass
two
is gonna grow
buildings.
there.
Right.
Because I always thought that'd be a nice place for a park or something like that.
No, the big one has grass. It's the,
Yeah, you're
the
talking
one that's like sandwiched between the two buildings where you get like this much light down the whole center of
Yeah,
it.
because you gave two addresses, and I just thought it was the
No,
big
not the
lot.
mini mall,
Not the
no.
big one.
Okay, that'll be, you're gonna do grass in there?
Yes.
Okay, now we can go back to work.
The demolition list, is that out or anything? To see what he's working on there?
We have demolition hearings
July
July
25th.
25th, but those are residential.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's 5 for the CDBG projects. I don't know, these are top
Which- Can you tell me which ones are the ones you're hoping to get down?
There's 2 on 10th Street, I believe.
Yeah,
The
one's
two
across
burnt
from the
The
other.
one from City, one across from 9th Street, right?
Yeah.
The big one
The
next
big,
to the church?
yeah, right.
What
Now,
about bar 20?
Yeah, that's,
When the bar, not the big.
Bar 20's on the radar, it just wasn't on the radar for this
That
time.
guy could probably knock that down without sweat.
yeah.
That'll be the cheapest demo.
Accidentally, just swing it over there. Yeah.
Have 3 or 4 people to pull
Swing
it.
it over there.
And what the city
Don't
did,
talk about that with
they
your
got
eyes.
property
You guys in there?
Way too windy.
Westmoreland County a few years ago, so they were working through the city-owned properties first. But these are privately owned, so we gotta notify everybody and have a hearing before we can tear them down.
Which actually, we might be able to do something like that for the property next to you guys in the future. That's one option that we're looking into.
Anybody else? Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Lois said second.
Councilman Finn?
Aye.
Councilman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.